Welcome back to the Happiest Sad Person Podcast. I'm Allie, and we're doing another solo episode today. Always a little bit daunting, always a little bit challenging, because I don't have anyone else to bounce off of, and it very much feels like, I don't know, I'm sort of just a crazy person in a room talking to myself, which on so many levels is so true. So, I guess I should just embrace the absurdity, which is I'm going to record myself talking, upload it to a platform where other people listen to it, and then they click a thumbs up or a thumbs down, no judgment if you do, and then they comment or don't, and it's just out in the ether, and that's it. And it's so wild that that's what podcasting is. Currently I have it just on YouTube. I'm still figuring out how to get an RSS feed and upload to the main podcasting websites / apps. So let me know if you would prefer listening to the podcast on there, or if you would prefer listening to it the audio version on here, or the actual video version on here. Definitely open to suggestions, but hopefully it'll be all of it. I don't know if you heard that beeping, but it was just someone extendedly beeping at 12:45 in the morning, the front of my house. And if you didn't hear it, then just ignore it. But yeah, I don't know. Today's just been weird, and that quarantine has just been feeling very just endless. And maybe you feel the same way, where it just feels like it's going on and on and on and on. And it's hard to, I think I touched on this the last time, it's hard to make commitments or goals for certain whenever you really don't know what is happening in the world, with the economy, with cities. It's just all over the place. So it's hard to, I don't know, it's hard to really just set goals for myself, but I am sort of embracing the uncertainty, harnessing the power of it, if you will, and trying to just be very much in this moment and just get done what I can get done and set tiny goals for myself. Like, for example, I'm redoing my office so I can do video pods there, and I'm setting it's currently August 25th, and I've set a goal of September 15th to have my office complete. And that's less than a month away, and that feels more manageable than 6-month goals or 1-year goals. I have those vaguely now, but everything's just so uncertain that you really cannot set very detailed, specific ideas of what your life will look like, because no one really knows. No one knew before, because life is naturally uncertain and is cyclical, and it's also, comes in waves. Success comes and goes, failures come and go. So no one quite knows what's happening, but right now especially, everything is so all over the place and scattered, and I think you can either thrive in that feeling or flounder. And I feel like recently I've been floundering in it, but I need to get back to thriving in it and understanding that an uncertainty is where sort of the flowers grow through the cracks, and stories of adversity come through, and people really show who they are and their character, and I hope I'm one of those people that can show that. I may not be. Who knows? I can't really judge my own character. I think that would be kind of gross if I did. Because you're you. Maybe this can be a discussion held at a later date, but I really don't think anyone can judge their own character, because character is inherently the values that come across to other people. You can think you instill certain values or have certain values, but I mean, really it's the greater public that decides, you know, what you stand for and who you actually are. Because then if you declare it, usually people that declare I am kind, I am generous, I am etc., are always the opposite of what they declare. So I don't know. I I really don't think you can decide uh, what you are in the grand scheme of things. You can try to live your values, but you can't decide if you actually embody those values, if that makes sense. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I'm sort of in that blah mode of quarantine still. I mean, I drove for the first time in a while today, which sounds so absurd, but I had been too lazy to get gas for a while. I just have a strange aversion to getting gas. I hate the smell of it. I hate the process of it. It feels so tedious. The expense feels so unnecessary. Like when you see that amount of money out of your balance of for me, my debit card, it just feels so unnecessary, even though it so obviously is, but it's like paying for parking. It just feels silly. And usually at the gas station, everyone's in pajama pants. I don't know what it is, but at least the gas stations I go to and the times I go to, it's always just weird people in pajama pants. And they look like they just woke up, even though it's like, I don't know, 8 p.m. And there's a level of sadness. I don't know, a gas station to me just equates to sadness. Maybe that's just me. Maybe other people are like, what on earth are you talking about? But I hate getting gas. But I don't know, it felt good sort of getting out and about for the first time in a while. Picked up a new chair from a vintage seller on Instagram for the office. So making headway in that regard. That felt good. It felt productive. It felt, I don't know, it felt like I was doing something to get to the next step. And who knows if there's even a point to getting to the next step, as per my previous conversation in uncertainty, but I don't know, I like that feeling. And I also have been trying to go to intermittent fasting because I've heard that a lot of people have success in that regard, so I am going to try it out. I'm doing 16 hours fasting, 8 hours eating. 8-hour eating window, I think they call it. So far, so good. I mean, I'm naturally someone that fasts unintentionally because I'm not a big food person. Like, I enjoy good food, but I can go a long time without eating, and I'm totally fine. Like, it doesn't affect me. But I'm curious if I do it in a structured way and really plan out my meals. And I plan on starting to meal prep again. Just cooking some basic vegetables and tofu and things like that. I am vegan. I don't know if I mentioned that before, but I hopefully will talk more about it as the podcast goes on. But yeah, it felt good to make that decision to get onto intermittent fasting and take a step towards, being extra healthy during this time, because it's so easy to just eat carbs and eat all night and all day and just feel just really gross. And I'm tired of feeling that way. I'm tired of just not feeling like myself and being indulgent and lazy and there's a time and a place for that. There's a time and a place for cheat meals, and I splurge and I get buffalo chicken vegan pizza and Chipotle and other, foods that aren't the best for me, but it takes away the fun if you eat that stuff all the time. It becomes less special. It becomes more routine, and you can feel it. I can feel the sluggishness to my body. I can feel the blah feeling. I can just feel worn down. And that's the worst feeling ever. But if I continue with the intermittent fasting, because I plan on at least doing it for a month, maybe a little over a month, maybe 6 weeks, to really see if there's any effect. I'll be staying vegan, obviously, throughout, so that might affect my results. I don't know, but I might do check-ins or a review of it when I finish, or if I continue, I'll just do a 6-week check-in and say, hey, I'm continuing this. But let me know if that's something that you potentially be interested in. I could even maybe do a YouTube video about it if I migrate over to doing videos. So that's another thing. Let me know what video or videos you might be interested in, either health, fitness, lifestyle, learning new things. I'm pretty much literally open to anything. But yeah, again, it's all so much a process. This podcast, this channel, this experience. I'm really just enjoying being bad at this and enjoying the learning process. Because I usually put so much pressure on myself to be quote unquote perfect that it's been fun to just be whatever. Like whatever I am at this, I am. And so I think now that the pressure I've sort of taken off myself, I mean, naturally I'm still obsessive and a hard worker, but I feel good right now in that I'm just doing the best I can. And I can't do better than the best. So I don't know, I'm enjoying it. And I hope you guys, whoever's listening out there, is enjoying it too. And I just want to keep improving, but at a reasonable, decent pace so that I can continue this on a regular, ideally weekly basis. Because so far that's been very manageable, very doable, very scalable, if desirable. So yeah, it's been so fun. And to everyone that's subscribed so far and just been very receptive and kind and DM'd on Instagram and commented, I just want to thank you for joining and getting involved and seeing something at the beginning and seeing promise in it and being so kind. I think that's been the coolest thing, is I've had nothing but positive responses. Now I understand negativity comes and it's part of the game, and constructive criticism, I'm so welcome to it. But yeah, it's in this time right now, it has just been really nice to see all the positive, uplifting, encouraging responses. And yeah, if you're listening right now and you did one of those things, just thank you so much. And if you're just listening right now in general, thank you so much, because I never thought I'd have even one person listening to, in my opinion, my annoying voice talk about life and the struggles and my life and what I deem important and do not deem important and all of those things. And so it's a real pleasure to be able to have a voice and to have people listen to it, no matter the number, no matter the scale, no matter anything. It's just a real privilege and a treat. And so yeah, I don't know. I'm midway through, thank you, but yeah, thanks. And so this podcast today, I don't know, I really wanted to focus on shedding friendships and letting new ones into your life, and the process of friends and of allowing people in and out of your life, and embracing the change and understanding that some people are not forever. Some people are. Sometimes your friends are your family. Sometimes your family are your friends. And there's so much nuance with it. But what got me thinking about this is that a couple days ago, a friend of mine and I got into a pretty decent spat, and I felt really abandoned. I hadn't been doing well with some health things, and I had reached out initially because she had said for me to, reach out if I was struggling, and so I did that and never really got a response. And it hurt, especially after someone tells you to reach out and they don't respond at all. I mean, I would have taken any response, but no response hurt, especially because I dealt with this before with a previous friend who really just dumped me, and it was the worst. And so I was really hoping that this time around that would not be the case, but it was. And it is what it is, and I confronted her on the phone, and I didn't get the response I thought. I didn't get a genuine apology. I got sort of gaslighting, saying she did get the message, then did, then didn't, and it was just a bummer. It was just no fun all around, and I don't want to disparage her too much because everyone has their moments, their issues, but one thing I will say about myself, going back to declaring that I am something or do something, but if I mess up, I own it. I sit, in the mess I made, and I go, yeah, I did this, and I'm sorry, and I can't go back in time. If I hurt your feelings, and I sort of just humble myself, and this time with this friend, she couldn't do it, and she had to be right, and she started guns blaring, had to be right, and it was just like, really? I just wanted a moment of authenticity from her. I just wanted a moment of just humanity and respect, and I didn't receive it as a friend, and it just hurt. It just really hurt, and I'll admit I lost my temper. I yelled a bit, but compared to my usual anger, I was probably only about a 25%. I didn't disparage her character. I didn't call her names. I just said, like, hey, listen, if you can't humble yourself to a certain level and apologize, because I'm just saying, like, I just need an apology, then we need a hiatus. And that's how it ended. And it was weird. I felt this after the fact. I felt okay with it, but I felt worried if I had done the right thing. And I'm a firm believer in signs. I think that sometimes the universe, whatever that may be, I'm not religious, but who knows what it is. But I do think that there's something bigger than us, a realm bigger than us, energy force bigger than us, something. And it was funny. It was like 4 a.m. after this phone call. Super late, but I'm used to being up late, so I was just like, whatever. And I was all revved up because I had been yelling and I couldn't fall asleep. And I heard trickling. And I was like, there's no way, because I live on the first floor of a 2-floor home. And I was like, there's no way there's leaking going on, because, it would have to come from the room above. And I know the room above doesn't have any leaking. So I was like, what is that trickling noise? And normally I would not wake up if something wasn't continuous and loud. And so I woke up, I flashed my phone light on where the noise was coming from, and it was a ladybug. It was a little ladybug on a book, a hardcover book that I had on my bed, and it sounded like water droplets. And mind you, I haven't seen a ladybug in probably over a year and a half, maybe 2 years. And a ladybug is traditionally a sign of good luck. So I thought, interesting. I I almost felt this compelling need to get up and see what it was. So I was like, it's funny that that's a ladybug. But I went to sleep, woke up the next morning, was dog sitting, went over to the house, was organizing some emails, and I came across some old emails from 2011 from a German professor. I've not seen these emails, mind you, in years. Probably 2-3 years maybe that I have not gone through these. And not an hour later, I get a text from my brother's girlfriend's mom saying, "How funny is this? I just ran into your professor." She called her Judith, and her name's Judith. And she owns a tea shop on Boulevard. And she, says you should stop in sometime. It's a really cute place. An hour later, I haven't heard of this professor. I haven't seen this professor. I haven't come across this professor in years. It was the strangest thing. And then a friend of mine I haven't heard from in a few months texted me all the same day. And she had said, "Hey, how are you? I miss you. Just wanted to catch up. We should go running sometime soon. Hope you're doing well." I thought, it's so weird. Later that night, I checked my text messages, or I checked my emails again, my recent emails this time. And I received an email from a client that I hadn't heard from, potential client I had not heard from in, say, over a year and a half. She is a domestic abuse victim, and she was trying to hire me to write a personal impact statement for the court to get away from her abusive partner. And I, again, hadn't heard from her in a year and a half, and in my inbox, same day all this other stuff happens, I see an email from her saying, "Just checking in, you might not remember me, but I'm looking to hire you again for your services." And it just was so odd. But in a good way, because all those things happening at once. It could be totally coincidental. Could be I was just hyper aware after seeing the ladybug. Or it could be that I had made the right choice, and almost the universe was saying, "Hey, hey buddy, you cleared out some of the old and you made some space for the new." And that's life. It's okay to sort of shed some old skin, shed some friendship, shed some negativity, even for the moment, because friends come and go. Friends can come for seasons. Friends can come forever, and then some sort of flow in and out with the wind. And they come into your life when they need you or you need them, and they teach you a lesson, and then they go again, and then they come back. And that's okay. I don't ever really look at a human being and go, "You're mine forever. I must, latch onto you, and no matter how ugly or weird or awful it gets, it has to be forever, forever, forever." No matter what, any relationship I'm in. I don't think that's healthy. And so it just made me realize that with every weird thing that had happened that day, I just felt secure with my decision. I felt like a sense of relief, and I felt a sense of letting go, and I felt a sense of bringing in the new. And it really proved to me that uncertainty is okay, because I was very uncertain with my choice of sort of taking a hiatus from my friend. But uncertainty also brought me all these interesting people back into my life, and all these interesting dynamics and revisiting from the past that who knows, will become something, will maybe not become something. But it really was the strangest, most comforting, content feeling. It was like the feeling you get on a summer's day when it's like 3 or 4 o'clock and the sun is sort of beaming down on your back or on your face, and everything just feels warm and right. And you're like, wow, I just want to hang out in this moment forever. And it's not too hot, not too cold, but also just very warm. And it was a nice feeling. It was a feeling I haven't had for a while. It was a feeling of making the right choice. Because I really don't think we often get that feeling of, oh, okay, I'm getting patted on the back for making the right choice. And I really felt assured from whatever. Maybe it's just my own brain that was assuring me, okay, in this moment, with this time frame, with this person, you made the right choice. It might change in a month from now, 6 months from now, a year from now, but in this very second, you made the right choice. And I hope I get to have those feelings more often. I hope everyone gets those feelings more often. I hope that I don't think instant gratification is good, but I think that sometimes to really take a chance or make a leap, every now and again you need that invisible pat on the back that says, yep, good job, keep it going. And I definitely felt like this weekend, because it's Wednesday morning now, I felt that I got it. And yeah, I could be totally delusional or looking way too into it or trying to justify my choices, but yeah, I don't know. It just really reminded me that people do come into your life for a reason. People leave your life for a reason, and people return for a reason. And I also need to hold myself more accountable in other people's lives and make sure that I'm giving as much as I'm getting and imparting lessons. Sometimes you're a bad lesson to other people. Sometimes you are the bad example. I firmly believe that some people come into others' lives to show them how not to be. And I've had a lot of those people in my life, but I really hope personally that I am more good in people's lives than bad, because I think ultimately that's what makes the world go round. If you are a positive influence in others' lives, if you are imparting wisdom and kindness and patience and love and acceptance and just goodness. And we all have our moments of darkness and negativity and judgment, and oh, Lord knows I'm the most judgmental person on the planet, but I really hope that all my good qualities overshadow all the bad ones, because if that's not the case, then I have some serious work to do on my end. I always have work to do on my end, but definitely, if the bad outweighs the good, then I need to go back to the drawing board. But yeah, if you've made it this far, let me know. You don't need to give names or specifics, but let me know if you've had an experience where you've had to sort of, have a friendship season, if you will. If you've had to have a friend leave from your life or come into your life for a specific time frame, and if that served you well, if it served them well, because it's not all about you, it's also about the other person, because any relationship is, a back and forth. There has to be a general equalness to the dynamic, or else, what's the point? But yeah, I just want to thank you all for listening to this. I don't know, this podcast feels weird today. But it felt very cathartic and good, so thanks for listening. And I had fun sort of getting all these emotions out and, feeling all the feelings, if you will. But, yeah, thanks for listening, and just feel free to email at 11jacobsa@gmail.com. Any comments, questions, concerns, suggestions, video ideas, preferences, whatever you may have. And yeah, I just want to thank you all for listening, and I really, really hope you, I don't know, reach out to someone that you haven't talked to in a while. Keep that sort of old friend energy going. That sort of, give that content feeling that I had this past weekend. Give that to somebody else by reaching out to an old friend. All right, thanks for listening, guys.